Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Trekyards. He is Commander Cocky.
He's Captain Foley.
And today we're here to talk about the season finale of Prodigy, Season 1, Episode 20. It's here. It's arrived.
Means we've got to wait
done.
a long time for the next one, Stuart. That's the sad... It's how epic it ends. It's sad the wait.
You know, following true to Prodigy's theme and tone leaves you with quite a cliffhanger. Although not. He's got a lot of answers, too. So
yeah, and of course, full spoilers. And check out a full review later tonight as well, as we'll go scene by scene. But Stuart, then, what did you think of episode 20?
I was pleasantly surprised. There was no time travel, and things people have been saying the whole time. Well, I know there was kind of like not what I expected for sure. Destroying the Protostar seemed like the ideal plan. That's great. I thought it was actually very well done, and I'm very satisfied with the results, although I wish there would have been one more little stinger at the end. However, overall, pretty easily wrapped up, and expected to see more of another, like, the battle continuing, but it was kind of Overall, extremely satisfied with the outcome, and I think we got to see some more of how Starfleet operates, and I thought it was a fantastic end to a great season. So again, kudos to all the Prodigy people, because they do fine work. So I enjoyed it. There you go. How about you?
Yeah, I liked it, but I don't feel like much happened. And certainly last week was 24 minutes of setup. And there was sort of 8 minutes of payoff, which, as you say, was very easy. And then it felt like 13 minutes of epilogue. Like, the sting of another Protostar was so obvious. They're not gonna bring another Protostar in. Of course, they can build a new one. And not showing what Jeremy's talking about at the end felt like a weird... There was nothing to grab you at the end. Unless you saw, Protostar A, if it's an A, for example, like the new bridge looking sexy and finished or whatever. It just ended on kind of a whimper of like, and goodbye, we'll see you next year. It's like, oh. I was just not expecting, like, Return of the King level endings, like 5 endings. And nothing, but there basically wasn't, there was almost no story in the episode. There was just, destroy Protostar, get back to Earth. Shockingly simple. And while satisfying, like you say, last week was, like, incredible, packed. This was incredibly unpacked.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, there was, like I said, I'm missing a sting at the end there, like either a new Voyager or seeing the actual, like, we kind of saw the ship built in this, like, I like the space dock thing they built it in, kind of on the ground, like a hangar. Thought that was quite interesting. But yeah, there was something missing at the end there with, no, I got something better in store for us. It's like, oh, really cool. Black. What?
Yeah. Yeah. It certainly didn't leave me excited for season 2. Like, it was just a, let's see what happens versus, ooh, can't wait.
Yeah.
Especially as they've kind of reset the paradigm. Because I was quite excited. You just try the Protostar, you bring the kids to Earth. Maybe they're going to be in the academy. Maybe that'll be part of the show. But the new Protostar, they'll be on it, or they'll be on Janeway's ship, or not. It might just be the same feeling show again. I don't know. I don't know. Confusing.
Yeah, so we still have a lot of questions, of course. I don't know. I kind of want them to be on a new Protostar, like the NCC version, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind like a new Voyager or something. A new Intrepid class would be kind of cool. Chakotay hopefully will be in season 2. I mean, it looks that way. He's 52 years in the future, in an alternate future. I pointed that out as well. I think season 2 will be interesting. It's just we got to wait and get there now, and then it's another 20 episodes in season 2. So going to be a lot more cliffhangers, I feel.
Although, boy, Robert Beltran, man, delivering 2 lines of dialogue or 3 lines of dialogue in 18 months. Either he's paid by the word, paid by the line, or paid by the show. Because I assume he's going to be heavily in season 2, given they did actually destroy Janeway, like gone. They can make a new one, fine, but that character's gone from the show, which is kind of great. Like, it changes things up, and obviously Gwen gone from the show in the group. But yeah, Chakotay definitely the real plot. And I did say to you how they're going to get into the future and do it. Turned out really easily. Because I kind of assumed that they were going to double, triple cheat, whereby cause I kind of guessed that the Protostar doing its thing was going to open a rift. Like the way they were framing it being that cool a thing was going to do a thing. So I kind of guessed that, but I was wondering if that was going to jump them into before the Protostar left the Val Marcotte homeworld, so they could then grab the younger original Protostar before it went back into the past. And because now that's an alternate timeline, time has now been solidified, at this point. That could be interesting. They would get Janeway back, just a younger version, the original Protostar back, and Chakotay, but no, it's past that, so it's continuing the story versus resetting. But yeah, the fact that it's an alternate timeline, I'm so thrilled, because I've been saying that since episode 7, it has to now be alternate. As soon as they come back, it's alternate. You can't just get there. You can just get there, but at least with a giant thing. But now they know how to create, wormholes into the future, into parallel universes. You just destroy a Protostar. It's that easy, because they didn't do anything special. The construct didn't cause it. It was overload the Protostar drive in a certain way, doing some math, which a hologram could do. A training hologram, which is not going to be as good as other holograms. So they've now worked out a way. Yes, you're going to lose a ship each time, but that's a pretty effective tech they've just gained. Alternate universe jumping.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like I said, it raised a few more questions. They managed to get the vehicle replicator working. Why not just do that from the get-go, as a lot of people had said, and create a simple shuttle type thing?
That's funny, because everyone was saying, they can't do that. The construct will be in the shuttle. Guess not.
That's one of the things I said. I said,
guess not.
I know, which was weird, because it's you should have done that sooner. Launch a shuttle and have communicate via that.
You should have done that one in the neutral zone. Just take a shuttle to the Dauntless and explain. I mean, that's definitely a plot hole of epic proportions, because the construct just removes itself from the story instantly. It has zero, the whole point of it was trying to survive and live, and think, yes, they managed to manually shunt away from the propulsion, but why couldn't the construct just turn off the warp core, or turn off life support, or do other things? Its whole purpose was to keep it going, and it would sense it was going to be destroyed, I'm sure. It's done that before, so that was definitely a plot hole element there.
Yeah, that and the whole proto-drive working and not working, then working, then fixed and not working. It was kind of all over the place, because they fixed it. The whole goal of one of the episodes was to tell their backstories and fix the damn thing. They got it fixed at the end, and it's we're ready to proto-jump. And next episode, it's no, we're not. Oh, we can't proto-jump. I mean, so yeah, there was a lot of...
And also the fourth line of the episode is, we can't jump to warp, but you have to jump to warp to go to proto-warp. It's an additional warp. You can't start at proto-warp. So that was also contradicted by its own thing in the start of the episode.
Although we did see a cooler, more up-close version of the transformation, which was neat. I do like they call Gwendala the Unifier now, and I kind of like her uniform with the filigree on the shoulders.
Don't know why they'd give her a Starfleet variant grey and then let her make it Val Marcottian. That's quite an endorsement.
And so she can't be in the Academy because they haven't made official first contact with her species yet, is kind of the way that she delivered that line.
Well, I took it more as the reason why Jeremy says 5 of you can do your thing is because she's already opted to leave. Therefore, there would have been 6, but she already opted to leave. So I wouldn't say... Because I always expected them to say, you all can go to the Academy, you can't jump the cube, you can go in next year or something of the ilk. That's why I kind of thought this would be the Academy show. I was actually quite excited to get half of 10 episodes of them in the Academy, learning and getting better, and then going into another episode was kind of... it's not... them shadowing Janeway's a hell of a prestige. One of the best admirals in Starfleet, one of the heroes of the Delta Quadrant, and you all get free uniforms, updated from their cadet version to their full version. To wit, why are they wearing Protostar uniforms when they're not Protostar crew while they're at Starfleet headquarters? They shouldn't be. They should be the standard ones.
I really thought Murph was the one that wasn't going to make it in for whatever reason. When they said 5, that's kind of went through my head.
Yeah. Does Murph get a uniform? Murph kind of got dropped in the episode a bit. They kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of uniforms, I mean, Zero got a new outfit, which I hate.
Oh.
I prefer the original one. And there's a huge mistake, because Zero floats towards the entrance to the thing where the Protostar is, and then next scene, Zero has legs, and then they immediately go back to the same scene again and no legs. So I mean, that's happened a few times during the course of the season. Not a big deal, but I thought I'd point that out. Yeah, I don't like the new uniform from Murph or
well, it's a
Zero.
body. He hasn't got a uniform. I would feel better if it was a Protostar uniform on a jacket, like on the white. But the white is like, you just look like the guy from Portal.
Or Wally.
Or Wally. There's a lack of character by being white.
Yeah.
In that way. I like the design, the raw design, but not the pure white. It needed to be painted to be as I think they would do. But then white Protostar uniforms, there's no Protostar at that point. Also, giant question, which I did not answer remotely. How on earth did they get to Earth?
Yeah, a month later, like, how many rations did you have? Did you have a working replicator for food?
I mean, it was an escape shuttle. They said we've got to remove everything. Going literally 5 minutes to build it, pretty much. They aren't going to build a replicator necessarily.
We'll have Janeway to get us there. No, you don't.
Yeah, they just entirely ignored how they got to Earth, and also they wouldn't be allowed to crash in the water because they'd be stopped by Starfleet in orbit. You don't just let random unknown crafts, which you can register from the Protostar, which should in theory have the construct on, just hit San Francisco Bay.
It wouldn't get that close to Earth. As soon as it hits the solar system, it'd be picked up. And why was there extra debris around their ship in the water? It's like, looks like debris from the battle, and it's like, okay, did you use some kind of wormhole device to teleport there?
It was vibing as if they were in Earth's orbit, and the Protostar left like 1,000 pieces of debris, or the battle did, and they would have impulse engines, but they were not warp capable, and they are not 1 month at sublight away from Earth. A month is not a very long time at sublight, really. And I do not think that they would be sane after a month in that box without seats or seatbelts. Like, that's going to break anybody's mental state, to be a month in a little box. In a coffin, without food, without a shower, able to do anything.
I sort of wished it was like, we have some news, and then you see, like, a captain of another starship being like, yeah, we weren't one of the support or relief craft going to the battle site to clean up, and we found these. And then you turn around and they're there. That would have made more sense than the way it was presented.
Well, and not just that, but they actively said this wormhole is a time thing. They would have sent ships right to it to work out what's there. Maybe you could argue that the readings are disrupting sensors to detect shuttles, but there's not much metal near that. Like, you should be able to scan it very easily. That was, you just use one of the Sovereigns, use any other ship, have the Dauntless pick it up. Like, to not have just a random ship pick them up seemed insane.
The other thing, the number on that shuttle was 6, and we know the vehicle replicator makes, like, each number, like, sequentially. We've already seen a 6 and a 7, if I recall correctly. So that just seemed like a weird little thing to me, but
I guess they reused the texture and didn't remember it was meant to be updated. But for an episode with so little, like, that seemed like an important plot point of how and why would they think to set course for San Francisco? Why wouldn't they just go to Earth Space Dock and say hello? Like, there's thousands of easier things. Because imagine the re-entry with a shuttle that's barely functioning after been travelling for a month, that's probably out of power. Like, that's not safe. And they're hitting the water. Like, do you really think they put in the shuttle re-entry shielding as a 5 minutes build a shuttle? Like, it wasn't a pre-built shuttle with everything. It was a absolute bet. They forgot to put in chairs. Why the hell would they have re-entry shielding?
Yeah. It was basically just a tube that they could float in space until they were rescued. Which
I thought would be rescued straight away, and I thought would be quite a cool, easy thing. I thought Janeway would just go there and find them and be done.
Yeah, because they didn't go that far away from the battle before they did the proto-warp thing, so...
I mean, a couple of seconds impulse, honestly.
Yeah, so, I mean, lots more questions answered, but... Or raised. Questions answered and questions raised at the same time. But overall, I thought it was pretty well done. I liked the Gwen and Dal moment.
Very tender. My God.
Yeah. So I think she's going to be in it quite a bit in season 2. I don't think they're cutting her out at all. Like, I just hate that last sting of what's the thing you want to show us, Janeway? Oh, we got to wait till next season to find out. Goody. And it won't be anything good, I bet you. It's going to be like so lackluster that we'd forgotten about it,
No, I'm betting it'll be a Voyager A. I think that's logical. Yeah, Voyager A with either a Tuvok or a Paris or someone from the Legacy crew to kind of be a bonus sting.
B'Elanna, people have been
Yeah,
clamoring for B'Elanna.
B'Elanna
to come
makes
back,
sense.
So,
Yeah, because we do see the shuttles that land to grab the crew are Voyager A shuttles, so we know Voyager A is already commissioned, and it makes sense that Janeway would commission a new Voyager just as she has one. I could see. I mean, you don't have to destroy a ship to decommission it. It's been many years. We know it becomes the J by Discovery, so yeah, Voyager A.
Could be.
Because then it would be. Dauntless was a good choice, but now the ship is the anomaly so close to Earth, you don't need the proto warp ability. That gets them to Solum, which is why that's been rebuilt, because that's the only way you're going to get to the Delta Quadrant in one hop. But a bigger ship, because that ship can't defeat the Val-Nakut, and you wouldn't want to send the Protostar to that, because then giving them Val-Nakut instant slip, travel across the galaxy. But you want a bigger ship, a Voyager A refit, a beefed up version, more modern, similar bridge, etc. would be pretty epic. And like I said, I think a Tuvok or a Kim or a Paris, grab one other Legacy in, I think would be smart, because you don't need Chakotay's crew anymore necessarily.
Yeah. No, I like that. I wouldn't mind somebody coming in, even B'Elanna.
B'Elanna's the most logical, I think. If you're going to go pure logic, she knows how everything works. She's right there. Yeah, and Chakotay's going to trust her. I mean, he should trust everybody, but she's the obvious bat. Especially because if you don't have to pay John Noble to play, Diviner, he's going to be very expensive. I would think he'd be more expensive than getting Robbie McNeil or B'Elanna back. I would think
he's going to be in season 2 as well, though, because they said your dad will be out there. Diviner's out there.
Yeah, but going
alive.
from a lead cast to a guest, the pay rate is going to be 10 times less. So I would think you can reverse budget, etc. And I really do hope they have now done a new bridge. There's no reason to have an NX style bridge now for the Protostar. It needs to be less reflective surfaces, carpet. It's not going to have carpet. Fill in the spaces that are empty. Like, that needs to have a fully fresh look that looks like Starfleet now, because you can't use the excuse of NX. That was the get out of jail free card. I was kind of surprised it was as silvery as it was, because those panel lines are for an unfinished ship, a test ship. I was expecting a sleek, crisp version to make it a cool USS, because that would then, well, if Hugo wants to exist, you could sell both versions. But they could easily improve the Protostar and have both their cake and eat it, I think. They're not going to, they want to reuse assets, but that's their chance to make a better bridge that fits into Trek better, because it's the USS, the NCC version.
Yeah, well, either way, they're going to be able to sell more, because it'll still be the NX Protostar, which people are going to want. There'll be the new one, the NCC version, whether it looks the same or not. And yeah, if they have another ship, another Intrepid class, like the Voyager A, as you said, we have 2 hero ships kind of thing for season 2.
Yeah, well, because you need a ship that could go to Solum. Although I'm surprised, we know it's in Delta Quadrant, we know it's very far away. Why the hell is she going in a shuttle?
Well, she's shuttling up to a ship.
Okay,
that's the implication.
Why couldn't she beam to the ship?
Because a lot of times you see people arriving by shuttle. They're at Earth. It just makes sense to use the assets that are available, and if there's lots of shuttle traffic, which there always is, where are those shuttles going? Shuttling people up to Starbase. We see it in Kelvin film.
I guess it's just you just think there'd be transporter emitters all throughout Starfleet Academy just walk in.
Well, there would be, but yeah, they gotta.
So do you think she'd probably be on the Dauntless then? Because that would be the only ship. Yeah, there'd be the only ship that can get them there in time. I guess because it's not Protostar. Okay, yeah. So Dauntless slower but gets there fine. Protostar there's a reserve ship, and then Voyager as the anomaly ship. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Might make sense why the Dauntless that showed up was upside down. It's like a surrender move, like we're showing our belly because we don't. Oh, the Prometheus class, yeah. Because we don't want to appear hostile.
And they took that as the worst hostility. Yeah. But I do think they definitely should have had a sting of a Voyager A. And just like the end of part 1, 10 episodes, Jamie walk on the bridge. It's very similar to the Intrepid bridge, it's a bit different. She sits down, she says, let's set a course for the anomaly. Black. That would have been because that end of Sting for season 1 part 1 was phenomenal. Absolutely missing that in this one.
Yep, 100%. We needed something at the end there because again, it felt just like a standard. There's going to be an episode next week ending. Just the way it kind of cuts, it left me unsatisfied because they were ticking off the boxes. Like, okay, that's good, and then it's like, oh, but And I guess that they want to do that. They want to bring you in for season 2, but they don't really need to do that, you know? So, just seemed like an odd choice to me.
Yeah, I guess they haven't designed the ship yet. They haven't finalized it, would be my rationale. But it also kind of feels like season 1 was a season, and they're hard resetting it for season 2. Like, there's going to be another time jump, there's going to be character development, there's going to be... Which is fine, but it feels like season 2 is a different animal entirely. I mean, the thing is that they're not criminals, they're not slaves, they're not running, so it is... They've entirely changed the paradigm for the season, which is very interesting. I don't think either of us would have predicted they would be full-on Starfleet, not cadets, but not even officers, but, you know, Wesley Crusher level officers to Janeway. That's a hell of a shift in the paradigm. And I'm fine with them, you know, giving away hologram Joey for Admiral Janeway. Gives them all character growth.
Yeah, it was kind of sad to see how hologram Janeway go, but it didn't, like, impact me like I think they wanted it to. I was just like, eh.
Well, yeah, they gave it
fine.
the time to imply it's final. Like, it got a lot of the episode vibe-wise. But it's like, she's not built up the same way the EMH was. Not every hologram is really, really sentient. She was only a training yeah, I agree. It was like, okay, sorry.
They implied that with the dialogue of my program has grown so much that it wouldn't fit. You know, like,
Why can't you do on 3 isolinear chips then?
I know, I thought the same thing.
Compress it with RIR, put in 3 different chips. I mean, come on, one isolated chip is huge. If you need more than one, do more than one. It's not the end of the world, Joey. I get she had said no time, but you're telling me the ProStar, it's a zippy fast computer mainframe, can't compress a hologram into 3 linear chips. Of course it can.
Please insert disc 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Which I kind of thought they were going to do, as if she was going to, like, hand them, like, put in their pocket and be a reveal later. I was like, oh my god, she clearly wasn't, obviously, but you know, that generally served its purpose, so it makes sense to you know. Huh?
It's kind of a shame, honestly, but well. The battle cleared up pretty quick. Love that the Klingon ship was going to get hit, and then it just powered down to blue again. That was cool. And
we'll all talk about it separately, Stuart, but we do see the E, and it's not destroyed, it's just a bit damaged. So the E lives.
Ooh.
Confirmed.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Yes.
All right, well, I think that's it for us for this one. We want to hear from you guys, though. Please comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon to all. You know the routine. Hit that like button and join us for lives if you're able to, because we love talking with you guys. And we got a lot to talk about. So
yeah, pretty in depth in our Trek knowledge, lore, love, and discussion. So yeah, let us know what you think. And of course, if you want to support what we do here every week, I mean, my God, Picard's going to be huge when that comes out, so tune in for that. Support us via super chatting on those lives, super thanksing on any video, PayPaling at trekyards@hotmail.com, Patreoning at patreon.com/trekyards, or joining the channel. It's like Patreon, but not Patreon. That's on YouTube. Join button. If you can, thanks.
Exactly. So until next time, he is Commander Cockings.
He's Captain Foley.
And I'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.